Why was growing up in the late 1970s so much fun? Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. My name is Rick. I have always found the 1970s to be very, very exciting and fun. The decade, the era, the music, the interior design, even setting up my basement to be like your grandma's house if she was a Kiss fan and drank Falstaff. And one of the things I loved the most about growing up in the late 1970s and the 1980s was how the world was simpler, a little more peaceful, a little more fun, and perhaps that was because we were kids and school was a little more peaceful and a little more fun, because at school, once a year, fun could be had in the form of your local book fair, which brings us to the topic of tonight, the one piece of Kiss merchandise that reminds me of the fun of the elementary school book fair. And it is this, the 1980 Authorized biography by Peggy Tomarkin, Kiss, the Real Story. Now, one reason I loved the book fair so much in the late 1970s and early 1980s when I went to school was it felt like a boatload of pop culture fun invaded your school, and it was all there for the taking. Mystery books, comic strip books, how to win at Pac-Man, and most of all, fun books on rock and roll. And that is what I truly love the most about this book and this piece of Kiss merchandise, is it was basically written for kids. Kiss, the Real Story was released April 1st, 1980. And if you think about it, the demographic of Kiss, their fan base, in 1980 would have been kids. So a book written towards kids would have been the perfect media outlet at the time. And it's very strange to think this is the only authorized biography of the band up through 1980. And this book was definitely geared towards a child audience. This copy is pretty much beat to hell, but like I've always said, not mint condition just means it was loved more. I would love to think and wonder what kid owned this in 1980. Basically, the book kind of moves like a scrapbook of photos throughout the band's career. There are a lot of newer, or new at the time, 1979 era DYNASTY photos. Unmasked had yet to be released at the time this book came out, and this book kind of moves in a monthly biography of the band. Starts off November 16th, 1970, and I believe runs through January 1st, 1980. And it is basically just your standard story of Kiss. It is interesting to note this How I Spent My Summer Vacation article was first published in a non-children magazine, which would have been Playboy. And it is very written, geared towards children. When a young ace stepped out of his spaceship, did he think he was seeing Earth? Very childlike, very geared towards a young demographic, but a cool piece of merchandise nonetheless. If not for anything else, just to imagine how crazy it is that this is the only fully authorized biography of the band up through 1979's Dynasty. And it is very weird to think about when the book ends, January 1st, 1980, the mention of a new album being born, another year of tours to the ends of the earth. The band is headed your way, fans. Just keep listening for the thunder. Well, as we know, that thunder would only go down under as there was no U.S. tour in 1980. Now, if you are looking for fun and you are looking for pure 1980s joy, highly recommend Kiss the Real Story. It's kind of funny to think 1980, the real story was the band was falling apart and they were losing their grip on the mountain of Kiss hysteria. But that would be kept secret for yet another year until the announcement of the new drummer, Eric Carr, the Fox, on Kids Are People Too. Kids who would have been reading Kiss the Real Story. Thank you for strolling down memory lane with me, revisiting elementary school and the book fairs and all of the magic and fun found within. There is a little more fun with paperback books and school to come in the following weeks. Until then, thank you for hanging with me. Take care, be safe, never stop waxing nostalgia, and I will talk to you soon.